This video is just to document my trial of the zero carb diet. Sorry, not low carb, zero carb diet or carnivorous diet, a diet that will contain only animals and animal products. So I guess I'll just introduce myself a little bit of background. So my name is Bethany. I'm 42 years old. I live in Southern Ontario in Canada. I've been married for 15 years and I have 4 kids, ages 10, 11, 12, and 6, although they're soon to be 7, 10, 11, and 13. So the reason that I'm doing this carnivorous diet, or zero carb, is for healing. I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease in October of 2017. And at the time I didn't know anything about it really. I'd done tons of research before on celiac disease, so I knew about different ways of eating. I knew about gluten-free, I knew about gut microbiomes and gut permeability and lots of interesting sort of things, but I had no idea that I had Crohn's disease, because I'm fairly asymptomatic according to my doctor, although obviously I had enough symptoms to go to the doctor. But she said my damage is moderate to severe on the inside. So when I went, I had to get an MRE after that of my small bowel, which didn't happen until December. So then I went back to the doctors in December, which was not a great experience, but I won't go into detail here. But she just straight away wanted to put me on a biologic, which is a massive immunosuppressive kind of drug, and I wasn't interested because I'd done tons of research in the 2 months since I'd been diagnosed, and was interested in trying some lifestyle changes, mostly dietary. She was not supportive at all, but I still said no to the drugs, and she agreed to retest me in 3 months' time with a repeat colonoscopy. Yay! So just after Christmas, 2 days after Christmas, I started the ketogenic diet because that seemed like it would be the most sustainable. It was already gluten and grain-free, legume-free, but I could still have dairy, which I love and doesn't seem to bother me. So I started on that, and within 7 to 10 days, the symptoms that I did have were essentially gone, but I did find it hard to stick to. I've always been a huge sugar fiend, carbohydrate addict, and so even just eating nuts and even just vegetables like roasted broccoli and cauliflower would trigger cravings in me, and I would eat like massive amounts of these things. And then we had some stressful things happen in the winter, like some kids got lice, and then I let some chocolate into the house, and anyways, and I caved. And so for about the 6 weeks before my colonoscopy, probably I would do a day or two of keto, and then I would have some chocolate or some ice cream. I still stayed not carb free, grain free, but I also let in some Diet Coke again. I've been drinking Diet Coke for 30 years, on and off, mostly on, sometimes exclusively for years at a time. So it's a pretty bad addiction of mine. But I kept letting 1 or 2 in at first just as a treat, because technically if you follow the keto where you're allowed sweeteners, it's not so bad. I thought, well, it's better than sugar, but I think that was part of the problem. It produced cravings for sweets, and then also just for more Diet Coke, till I was making excuses and buying cases of it and drinking way too much. Anyway, so I went for my repeat colonoscopy, and even though my symptoms have mostly resolved, I still have, especially once I brought back in some sugar, I had some more issues, but nothing like it was. But she said there was no healing internally, which wasn't really surprising to me, because 3 months doesn't seem like a lot of time to heal. So I haven't been back to see her yet, but in the meantime, and I'm not sure when or if I will, because I feel pretty good, but I've decided I need to get more serious about what I'm doing, and I've listened to zero carbers on and off for the last few months. Sean Baker, who was big into it, and then just a couple other YouTube people who have tried it and had really good success. And I've read some case studies on a Paleolithic ketogenic diet on just one boy who it put him in complete remission from really severe Crohn's, and so I decided, well, it's worth a try. So starting today, which is Wednesday, April 11th, I am going to try zero carb for 3 weeks. So I'm hoping to update maybe every day, maybe once a week. I have no idea. I've always loved the idea of a blog, but I don't love writing, so I've decided to give YouTube a try. And partly just for my own records, and then partly because I love searching up zero carbers and ketogenic, and I've done lots of research into fasting and intermittent fasting, and I did do a 91-hour fast in January, which was good. And I've done some shorter fasts, like 40 and 42 hours since, but sort of fell off the fasting wagon when I started running again about 6 or 8 weeks ago because I got hungrier. So for now, I just want to focus on the diet. And I find when you're ketogenic, and probably low, if I'm zero carb, it might even be better. You just don't struggle with hunger that much. So hopefully fasting will sort of naturally work its way back into my life because I do enjoy it. Anyway, so yeah, so I think that's all for today. I might tomorrow take some before pictures. I'm at a weight right now where I'm fairly comfortable. It's at the high end of comfortable for me, but I'm about 20 pounds down from what I was this time last year, so it's better than that. But if I lost another 10 or 15 or 20 pounds would be maybe a bit much, but I wouldn't complain. But that's not my main goal for this. That would just be like an extra bonus. My main goal is just healing and to, you know, keep my bowel and not have to go on any heavy duty medications with lots of side effects that are really expensive that will cost my husband's insurance company lots of money. Anyways, so I think that's all for today. So I look forward to maybe becoming a part of this zero carb community, and like I said, I've already watched lots of videos and now I feel like I have a voice of my own. Anyways, that's all for today. Thanks so much.